Hello and welcome again to Let's Play Baldur's Gate. This is Policy of Madness. Last time we came to the city, we ran for some errands.
Nothing to it.
I realized that I did this quest with the basilisk, but I don't think I turned it in.
Whatever you
So that's the first thing we're going to do is turn in that basilisk quest and get our small amount of payment for it.
If you say so.
Me timber's bad enough without ye bothering me.
So it gave us 1,300 EXP. What did he give us? 1,300 EXP, some gold, and essentially this is some gold.
Of course.
So let's get rid of it. This might be a good time to mention how incredibly white Baldur's Gate is.
If that's what you
This
want.
entire city is... There's nobody of color anywhere in it. And this has actually been true through our entire journey across the Sword Coast. I didn't bring it up before because previously we were in, you know, these little towns. Candlekeep, you don't really meet anybody in Candlekeep who doesn't live there. You know, Bear Ghost and Nashkel are, you know, little towns. Gullikin is all halflings, you know. You kind of expect these little towns in the hills in a semi-medieval, you know, setting.
Whatever you desire.
Yes?
To be, you know, racially pretty homogenous. Baldur's Gate, the city of Baldur's Gate, has no such excuse. I mean, this is supposed to be a port town. It ought to be full of people, you know, from everywhere. People should be coming here to trade and discovering that the city's kind of nice and settling down. You know, this should be, you know, racially a much more, you know, heterogeneous place, and it's not. We're going to drop off a few things.
Nothing to it.
Specifically these two things. And we're going to prep our familiar bag of holding while we're here. The extreme whiteness of the city kind of reflects the racial issues in Baldur's Gate as a whole. Or rather in Dungeons and Dragons as a whole. The game pretty much assumes
whatever you want.
That the default is going to be that everyone is white. We are going to keep our two wands here. Set our things down. And put all our crap into our inventory. A lot of this has already been pickpocketed, so it's not going to be pickpocketable again. But I don't actually remember which bits. Oops. Incidentally, this is like impossible to do if your character is a thief and has a high pickpocketing score, because your pickpocketing score resists pickpocketing. And your familiar cannot, you know, if you use any item, which of course you are if you're a thief, you're using
Just
that.
ask.
You know, if you're using like only 3 items here. If you're using, you know, use any item and you use the scroll of Call Familiar. And Call a Familiar, you can have a familiar, but your familiar is not going to be able to pickpocket you.
What will you?
You know, like ever. The game as a... Oops. The game as a whole does kind of reflect this racial regime where everybody is assumed to be white unless you are some kind of, you know, special race, such as, you know, from Car Tour, you know, then you're Asian.
Whatever you want.
Things like that. And the...
If you say so.
You want some whiskey?
The drow are an especially egregious thing, elves in general. But, you know, the drow in particular, because the drow, of course, are black. And they're the only racial group
Of course.
in Baldur's Gate, the only elven racial group, which is, you know, black. In Baldur's Gate 2, you have a couple of people who are, you know, could arguably be people of color. Like, that ranger guy, Valgar. You know, his skin is kind of darkish. It's hard to argue that he's actually, you know, black in any way, because his facial features don't really seem that way. It's like they Europeanized you know, someone of color. Kind of telling, really. It really says something about the creators of the game that, like, literally everybody is white. In this, you know, thriving port town, which is receiving traders from everywhere. But apparently none of the people who settled in the town are anything other than white. And I actually think that this little corner here cannot be explored, which is one of those super irritating fuck yous at me from the game designers. You know, fuck you. You can explore this entire area except for that one little bit. And Werewolf Island, the lower portion of Werewolf Island, I think has one of those also. But the town is, in general, is otherwise explorable. It's kind of interesting that of all the elves, the ones that are black, the evil ones, are the ones who live underground. Because things that live in caves are usually quite pale. I guess you could argue that the drow have not lived underground long enough to have that in operation.
Away with you, beggar!
Steep in price. I think it's like 30 gold. The story of Durlag's Tower is actually interesting to me. Here's our first mention of Illithids. Durlag's Tower, although we're not going to encounter any in there. He lived on fungi. If you're living on fungi, you have a real problem with malnutrition.
that's what you want.
I must be speaking to you. Listen, please.
Yeah, this strange dialect that he's using, this like almost pidgin, is a really nice touch because it's kind of subtle. I have a money for pay and a big heart for friendship. I mean, who talks like that? It's somebody who doesn't know your language very well. That's somebody who talks like that. Ah, weird little typo here. And he gives himself away that, you know, he has some kind of attachment to this island. So this is Baldur's shipwreck. You're clearly working toward a noble end. Doesn't he talk about the... He wants the logbook, yeah. He can spare a whole bunch. 2,000 gold is a lot. Not that we need it.
Whatever you decide.
Where's that dude? Here he is.
Yeah, mate.
He's a fisherman, but he has this shield thing. Yeah, he'll call you on this if you use this. I darned I have any gold with me when I have like, you know, 120,000 or something. You speak the common tongue as good as I done. As well as I do, you mean. Nay, better. He leaves it for a few days every month is all. Kind of a clue here, except that if you're not expecting him to be a werewolf, then he this is not going to, you know, tip you off, because leaving for a few days every month could mean that he's shopping. You know, I leave my house for a few days every month too. Actually, I have a job, so I leave it almost every day. But, you know, if I were living by myself, I would not be cooped up like 24/7. There's only so much that you can order from Amazon, you know. Milk is not one of those things. Okay. So now we know that Mendez is a little weird. But who isn't? I mean, honestly, who isn't a little weird? We're definitely weird. So now we head to the city. And we're going to try to see if I remember how to get in here and do this crap.
Is that all?
Is this it? That's definitely not it. I think it's this. How to get in here and get this crap without getting into a fucking fight.
Nothing to it.
Stand away, citizen!
Yeah. The League is not going to buy this. What do you mean, a little patience for my tone? My tone was totally respectful, so fuck you. We're just gonna explore this area. Of course, this is the same map that is used for the area where the ogre mages ambush you.
You'll be bilged on your own anchor if you test my patience.
Hardest liquor.
Whatever you want.
You know, in my town, the hardest liquor is like Everclear. But nobody drinks it because it sucks. You know, you just, you know, you use Everclear as a mixer, not as a beverage.
Just ask.
Alright. Oh. Counting house. Doesn't tell us it's Merchant's League, but it is.
What would you like?
So on the subject of, you know,
Nothing to it.
strange and questionable racial stereotypes,
Whatever you want.
I mentioned last time
If you
that,
say so.
let's see, is this him? Yeah.
Hi, friend.
Yeah, 900 gold. That's actually the same amount, I believe, that Gaskill gave us in Nashkel for clearing out the Nashkel mine, so at this point in the game, not actually that much. No. This is not ingratitude. It's because this is what we fucking asked for. This is what we're paying for, 900 gold. I brew it with pimentos to give it that little extra kick. Hmm? My grandfather used to make his own wine,
Of course.
like in his basement. Apparently people paid him for it. I don't know where he got
If
the
that's what
grapes. I know
you
he didn't
want.
grow them. So I guess this dude is making ale in his basement in a similar way.
Whatever you desire. Is that all? Nothing to it.
The cabin boy, that dirty little nipper. The sea, she calls me.
I don't even have any idea what he just said. A cabin boy's a cabin boy, the dirty little nipper. What does that mean? Hold DC charge for me. I'm feeling a little woozy. Okay.
Whatever you want. Just ask.
Alright. And actually I think I should pickpocket proof those sea charts too, as long as I'm
What would you like?
thinking about it. Like I said, I'm actually not sure what happens if the ferret pickpockets these containers. It's probably nothing horrible. I just don't know what it is. Alright.
Yes. Nothing to it. Tell me whatever you want.
Don't know what it is. This is a no reload game, so I'm not going to check, and I've never bothered to check in on no reload games either. Don't know why. It's too lazy or something. Alright, now we're ready to go. So speaking of, strange and offensive racial stereotypes, last time when I was talking about, Angel's curse, I mentioned that it was inflicted on him by gypsies. And the word gypsy, of course, is a big insult.
I have waited long for such as you.
The reclusive scholar. He's reclusive, but not a scholar, and he's reclusive because he's a fucking werewolf. You got anything to say to me?
Mate?
Nope.
I must be speaking to you. Listen, please.
He's very polite, though. Alright.
Your ship sets its sails against the morning light, and you're off across the waves. The Sea of Swords allows your passage without incident, and in a scant amount of time, you're on to truly open waters. A score or more of days pass, but the aptly named trackless sea seems to stretch before you without end. The waters are calm, though the wind remains steady and sure. The merchant vessel your employer has chartered is a fine ship, but her crew is not accustomed to journeys so far off the established trade routes. The more superstitious among them speak of a great waterfall off the edge of Faerun, of a secret elven nation that scuttles all that dare come near, or even of island-sized turtles that eat whole ships. Such fancy weighs heavily on the minds of nervous sailors, and the mood aboard ship slowly turns. Tensions begin to mount, and rumors of mutiny threaten your resolve. It is a mixed blessing that all aboard are soon given a very real danger to occupy their thoughts. The storm comes without warning and hits with a fury that seems almost deliberate. Gale-force winds toss the ship about like a cork, and it is all the crew can do to keep her afloat. Their efforts, though valiant, are ultimately futile. And when the main mast splinters, you know the ship is lost. As the hull gives way, there is a glimpse of something in the distance. A steady illumination against the black of night. Grasping debris for flotation, you abandon the wreck and begin to swim under the heavy burden of your equipment. You head towards the glow, hoping it is not a sea wisp or some other nefarious trick of the eyes. You awake the next morning with a mouthful of sand. You are waterlogged, exhausted, and you have an aching pain that lets you know you are very much alive. The ship is so much kindling. There is no sign of the crew, but there do appear to be footprints in the sand.
Pretty lucky, I guess. That music is very similar to what is supposed to play during the dreams that we don't get. It's a little bit different in the middle because this is a much longer little bit of exposition than the dreams are. That was a weird way to spell Faerun. I don't know that I've seen it that way. And the trackless sea, I want to know what trees have what seas out there have tracks. I don't know of any. So, we swam for our lives. Our crew is gone. Here's apparently our ship, or at least parts of it.
If that's what you want.
And here we are on Werewolf Island. And I think that we can get almost all of the island explored. Yeah, we got the corner there. Okay.
You are new. You smell different.
I smell different. These little hints that these are kind of not fully human. Kind of strange that she seems to speak in normal grammar. Yeah, we're at each opportunity we're given the opportunity, or each dialogue tree we're given the opportunity to either continue our conversation, to take our leave politely, or to take our leave like dicks. Also, why is he the Mr. Chieftain when they are clearly a matriarchal culture? Because they always talk about their, you know, like here she's talking about, you know, her great-grandma, great-great-grandma. They always talk about their mothers, you know, as being their ancestors and not their fathers. So this seems like a matriarchal culture, and so it really seems like Cassius should be the, the chieftain, and not her husband or mate or whatever you want to call him. So now we gotta go find Cassius if we want to talk to anybody, and we are going to talk to a lot of people here. Probably ought to do that before we start exploring, because I want to talk to people as I explore. Werewolf Island's pretty interesting. The first time I was going through the game, the first couple of times I went through the game, I didn't even have Tales of the Sword Coast, so I didn't come here. And when I got Tales of the Sword Coast, I just...
You are from away? Welcome, then.
Yeah, no shit. Like, everybody you talk to will tell you this, until you've actually spoken with her. I think she's in here.
Whatever you desire.
Yeah.
You are strangers here. You do not belong.
So, yeah, peaceful people. Doesn't really want you to be, you know, here to be dangerous. The mothers of our great-grandmothers, you know. She talks about her ancestors in terms of her, you know, matriarchal ancestors. Baldur. We're going to learn on this island that he wasn't much of a hero. Age upon age since landing and freedom. After all, if we can build the wall in village, we can build the craft to leave. That's kind of a stretch. Shipbuilding is a very specialized art. Building a wall is way easier. Verse of the Mothers. We've held them back and lived as human as we could. Okay.
Is that all?
Now we can chat with people, and they'll talk to us.
I don't know you. You are a stranger.
I don't like this. She's not a girl, she's an adult. A brain dead paladin. I wonder what would come here. What this dialogue would be if I were a paladin. Yeah, her son is like an infant. Why would her husband take her infant out hunting? Your husband was an idiot. 3 months old. He's not, I don't need to know his name. He's not going to answer to it. He's 3 freaking months old and your husband took him out hunting like a moron. I'm afraid of monsters. Let's see how many monsters I've killed in my day. Almost 2,000. And Chandelar, of course, is our... oh my god, we've been going at this for most of a year. And Magic Missile is our favorite spell. We're not going to get a level here. Although we could. You can farm the wolf wares.
Nothing to it.
Alright, we're going to start robbing these people. If you come here at night, there's a bunch of people sleeping here, but, you know, they have no guard to call.
Whatever you
So
want.
it's completely safe to just rob them blind. We'll rob this area, if I remember. Sometimes I forget. But after we make an enemy of Cassius, we'll rob her area. So the word gypsy, of course, is a, you know, super insult. Really insulting. But I use it without apology because the gypsies in Angel, and Buffy and Angel, were kind of idiots. Even aside from the fact that they don't really care who they're punishing as long as somebody suffers. Which, you know, is clearly immoral. They didn't bother to tell Angel at any point that if he, you know, ever became happy enough that he would lose his soul again. And he clearly cares about this once he is aware of the issue. You know, he goes to lengths to keep from having that happiness. And incidentally, I really don't like the fact that happiness in this case is essentially equated with an orgasm. There's a very bad anti-sex message in there that I don't appreciate.
What? If you say so.
I don't know you. You are a stranger.
Alright.
Of course.
Most of these random people have nothing important to say, but I'm going to talk to them anyway as I run into them.
You are not like us.
Nope, I'm not.
You are stranger to us, stranger than us.
Move along.
You and your handful of warriors. Me and my ferret. This is a really nice little warning here, because there's one that can cast spells. And actually I think that they're all the same color, they're all kind of brown. Okay.
I say my mind. Go as soon as you can.
I appreciate your forthrightness.
I smell... outsider?
Okay. The
That's what you want.
gypsies in Angel are clearly idiots. Because they knew.
Whatever you
They
decide.
knew that if he ever attained, true happiness, that he would lose his soul again. But they didn't tell him
You
this.
are not like us.
And it would have been smart for them to do that, because otherwise he probably would have avoided Buffy.
Is that all?
And then he wouldn't have lost his soul, and, that one, or those two gypsies that he killed, wouldn't have died, and a lot of things that were interesting in the show. I'm going to stop talking to these people, because they have nothing interesting to say. A lot of the terrible things that had happened wouldn't have. So they're idiots. And personally, I would not want to be associated with people who are that stupid. So I'm not going to call these people by the name of the ethnic group that is normally referred to as gypsies, which I think they call themselves Romani or Roma or something like that. I am not actually sure. But I'm going to call the people in Buffy gypsies, because those people are stupid. And also, I'm not sure what gave me this impression, because it's clearly bullshit. But,
Whatever you want.
I think he has nothing important to say.
Some will not trust you. Some like me.
Not asking you to trust me. In fact, I'll probably be killing you later.
Just ask.
I had always believed, and I have no idea what gave me this idea, because like I said, it's complete bullshit. But I had always believed that the reason that Angel and Buffy broke up was because of the curse. It makes sense, right? Buffy makes him happy, and being happy makes him lose his soul.
What would you like?
Therefore, he breaks up with Buffy, or they break up with each other. Because he doesn't want to lose his soul again. And nothing that I had seen while watching Angel, and I was watching just Angel for a long time, nothing that I had seen watching Angel had disagreed with that. And that makes sense, right? But, as you of course know if you've watched the show, that's complete bullshit. He actually broke up with her
Nothing to it.
because he thought that essentially she could do better than him. That she deserved a boyfriend who could, have
You are unlike. You do not belong.
She deserved a boyfriend who could have, like, an afternoon wedding, for example. Or, picnics in the sun.
Whatever you want.
And, oh my god. I was so angry. I was so angry. Because that's Like the worst reason ever to break up with someone.
If you say so.
Yeah, mate.
Those of you who survived did not actually fucking survive. Eating your shoes and drinking rainwater. That's gross. Eating one's shoes. Yeah, the female crew members took husbands, not the reverse. Nothing on this island is as what it seems. Not even him. Pretty interesting. So now that I've robbed this dude blind, and he's done nothing about it.
Of course.
No, the real reason that Angel broke up with Buffy is because, you know, in his belief, she was better off without him, and that's such an asshole move. I have to tell you that if you're in a relationship with someone and that person breaks up with you and says this is for your own good, they're actually correct, although not for the reason that they're giving, no matter what that reason might be.
If that's what you want.
These simple fisher folk. Have sufficient metalworking ability to make locked chests. Some good shit they've got too. Alright.
Whatever you desire.
Essentially what Angel was doing was he was making a decision about what's best for Buffy without involving Buffy in the decision-making process, and that's really controlling. That's super condescending, and seriously a red flag. So if you ever run into somebody like that who says, I'm breaking up with you, where am I? I'm breaking up with you because this is what's best for you. This is what I have decided is best for you. Believe them. Believe that person. That really is what's best for you. Although, like I said, not for the reasons that they're giving you, whatever those might be. But because you seriously do not need to be with someone who is going to... Here we go.
I lost my dolly.
In a few years, your papa will let me hunt. Or will let you hunt. Or, you know, you could be like that kid's father and he'd take you out, you know, wrapped in as a papoose or something, you know. Ridiculous. You can play with it if you want. Thanks, I will. Don't stick around with people who say, I know what's better, best for you, better than you do. No. Everyone does what's in their own best interests, as you know, to the limitations of the information that they have at the time. And if someone has more information than you, which would change your mind about what's in your best interest, then they need to share that information with you and let you make your own decision. That's, you know, that's what adults do.
Nothing to it.
Adults take the information that they have.
You know, I could really use some rest.
Yeah, I don't think I can open that even.
Whatever you want.
I don't know if I have a better ability to locate hidden things because of being an elf or not. I think I'm supposed to, but I'm not sure if that's in operation.
Well, you are a strange sight.
This will be a female if I were playing a male character. No horse town. No, I don't. It's an interesting idea. We use the past to move forward. I like it. Adults take the information that they have and they make decisions that are as far as they can be in their own best interest. You know, as far as the information that they have. That's, you know, what adults do. And adults give other adults information that allows them to make, you know, decisions like that. But children have decisions made for them. Children don't have the ability to reason properly because, you know, that's what it's like to be a child. Ooh, let's kill the bears. You know, that's one of the things about being a child. And so, you know, adults treat children differently. Because children don't yet have the ability to, you know, make good decisions for themselves. And so if someone is telling you, well, you know, this is for your own good. I'm doing this because this is for your own good, and I'm not involving you in the decision-making process as to deciding what is for your own good. That person is treating you as a child. And that's not somebody that you need to be in a relationship with. So when Angel told, is it another bear? Oh, another bear. A whole pile of bears, and I literally can't get up there.
Vita!
They were just kind of hanging on the edge of the screen. It's kind of weird. But I've seen that before here on Werewolf Island. Don't know why. Someone who treats you as an adult, if they have information that they think will change your mind about what's in your own best interest, they'll tell you and they'll let you, make that decision for yourself. They'll involve you in that decision-making process. Someone who's treating you as a child will not. Oh, come on. I'm so close. Oh, that little shadow. That little shadow, that's the fuck you to me from the game designers, because I'm pretty sure I can't get that little shadow to go away. Okay, well, that's it for the lower part of Werewolf Island. Next time we'll be going to the upper part, which we actually cannot view this way. According to this, we're somewhere off the coast of the Cloakwood. Maybe on this little bit right here. Although it almost looks like we're on this little piece of land right here, which I guess could be an island. The shield's in the way. We'll look if I remember when we get back. So this is where we went. We went like literally across a tiny little strait. The next time we'll go to the northern part of Werewolf Island. We'll explore all of that. Do a couple of these quests that we've now picked up. And I don't think we'll go into the... I don't think we'll go into the shipwreck probably. But we'll see. Until then, later.